Hi, I'm Sarah Pierick, a senior technical developer here at Kennedy & Company, and I look forward to teaching you a little bit more about querying with configurable joins. Let's jump in. We have a query here on the application base. As you can see when I preview the results, we have a few different application rounds, but we only have 2 students who have actually chosen a major. So if the goal of this query is to find those who have selected any major, you could do one of 2 things. You could select filter and application major and select all the majors within that filter. But if you aren't like us and you have more than 8 majors, the more computationally efficient and evergreen option is to actually select a subquery filter, keep the aggregate of exists, and export that application major field. You can see here that the matching rows are identical, but if you add a major into your database, you won't have to come back if you've utilized this subquery filter exists, because Slate will already take that into account. Whereas you would have to come back into this query and adjust this in filter. We always want to make sure that we name the parts of our query. And so I'll name this application major exists. Same type of thing applies if you instead want to find people who don't have any major selected. You could technically go in here to this one, you could say not in, and it would select everyone who doesn't have a major that's on your list. However, this is incredibly computationally expensive because Slate now has to look at every single application major in this list and compare it against the student's application major and determine that it is not that one. In fact, it's much easier for Slate to take a subquery filter and say that this doesn't exist. So you're saying that the application major field does not have anything in it. And I'm going to adjust the name of my part so that anyone who looks at this query knows exactly what I'm trying to find. Now, this is all fine and dandy for prompt-based fields, but what if you're trying to filter on a text-based or a number-based field? Sometimes you could use in or not in, but that depends if you want to find a particular data point within the system. So for example, if I'm wanting to find a particular student based on their student ID, the student ID is stored on the person, so I'll come down here to join, and I'll join to the person record, and then I can click filter and find their student ID, select this, and add in a person ID. You'll see that now the matching row is 1. However, what if I don't care what student I'm pulling, but I just want to know whether or not somebody does have a student ID, but they don't have a major? So what I would do instead is go to a subquery filter and I'll export that student ID in here. And what this is telling Slate to do is find all the students who have a student ID, but they don't have a major. So when I preview the results here, I'll export the student ID really quickly. And when I preview the results, you'll see we have a student ID, but we don't have a major. I hope you're able to use this knowledge to go into your database and unleash the power of configurable joins. You got this, and follow us for more Slate tips and tricks.